Uni, also known as Carol or Lord Carol, is the owner of a Discord server named the Space Object Show Community, also known as SOSC Hub. He also owns servers like Uni's Funny System and State Hall Anthem Mapping's Basement, but recently, he has been exposed for multiple wrongdoings and disgusting things. So let's get right to it. So the first thing is that when Uni created the SHM's basement server that was centered around mapping and Kawanchi balls, due to the toxic influence of the mapping community, Uni became a mega-clan LARPer and also a neo-fascist Nazi. In 2021, he was introduced to a dangerous Discord raiding and scamming group, known as the 4th Brigade, where he became a highly accolated member of importance, engaging in horrible activities like doxing, hacking, server raiding and nuking, along with neo-terrorism with other notorious Discord terrorists. During most of 2021 and 2022, he raided a lot of Discord servers with nuke bots and client hacks, including a 500-member server that was completely nuked in less than a minute. He also had access to a token grabber and would frequently grab the client tokens of people he hated, and I was one of the victims of this token grabbing incident. I'll tell you more info at the end of the video. Okay, so if you don't know, if used properly, the grab tokens could be used to hack into Discord accounts, and he took the advantage of exactly that, and in addition, he was, and still is, extremely racist and very homophobic towards his own members, and would create a toxic environment where slurs were shouted like it was a normal routine. Users would be discriminated based on skin color, ethnicity, religion, gender and so much more. During some time in 2022, Uni discovered Enceladus Object Cosmos' old Discord server, and at first, he threatened to attack and nuke the server, along with sending threats to Enceladus herself and her real-life family, but eventually peaced with her server and the SOSC server and eventually befriended her. Eventually, Uni drew closer to the SOSC server in order to manipulate it through Enceladus server, but in 2023, Enceladus server shut down and Uni made his own server, then known as TSOSCH server, to compensate, but eventually, State Hall Anthem Mapping's server also did shut down. So yeah, this was Uni's past. Now on to the second thing. The second thing is that Uni is also a manipulator, or brainwasher to be exact. It all started when it was quite noticeable something was off about the staff from the SOSC server. They seemed quite comforting to anything Uni does, which leads to the theory that they have been brainwashed or manipulated. Our main observation about this is a staff member, which here, we can see that he looks like he's been completely brainwashed by Uni. He feels that backtalking Uni is gonna quote-unquote benefit the person who screenshotted that, and also, this message is definitely the ultimate proof that he's 99% brainwashed. Oh, and one more thing, here's a screenshot of Uni trying to silence people by creating a whole paragraph about how the person screenshotted that was quote-unquote harassing his members, which is pretty hypocritical considering his past and the name in the profile picture Uni was using at the time. Also, it isn't just the staff being brainwashed, Uni also brainwashed and manipulated plenty of other people, basically treating them like they were either slaves, punching bags or attack dummies. Uni also manipulates others to agree with every single one of his opinions, and if you refuse to abide by whatever control he has put in place, he would make your life a complete living hell. And also, if you left the SOSC server, Uni would manipulate others into completely demonizing you, which has caused fear for those who did know about Uni's wrongdoings. There were people who didn't like the things Uni was doing, but they felt stuck in his so-called server, because if they left, they would be treated like some kind of war criminal. Uni also often kept lying about how he quote-unquote didn't break the rules, which was an obvious lie, because Uni couldn't even enforce those rules properly and often kept breaking his own rules too. which was another tactic of manipulation. He would also witch hunt and falsely frame people into getting banned in other servers if they didn't abide by his own rules outside of the SOSC server. Also, Uni had a serious habit of guilt-tripping people and victim-blaming that paired with censorship of criticism towards him, even to those who trusted him the most. Also, he enforced his server's 12th rule, which was titled, and I quote, "Staff knows best." And due to this, whenever someone called Uni or his staff out for their mod abuse, they were told they were quote unquote immature and that thus didn't deserve to be addressed or responded to, or they were banned on the spot. Uni also secretly hated members for poor or stupid reasons. And also, the entire SOSC server demonized the literal miner for having a different art style, like you see in those screenshots. And regarding former SHM members, since when SOSC was opened, Uni has claimed that they quote unquote only cared about him when he was a mapper, using this claim as the reason for why so many of the people who were manipulated by Uni in SHM have since come out with evidence against him. Which was a pretty stupid and untrue claim. Those were some of the proof that Uni is in fact a manipulator and a narcissistic brainwasher. But does it get worse? It does, and I am not even halfway through the video yet. The third thing is that Uni has participated in sexual role plays and also made some pretty suggestive and sex-inducing memes or pictures. And to make it even worse, he showed this around minors, which he obviously shouldn't have been doing, but this comes nowhere close to the even worse part one I'm about to talk. The fourth thing is that Uni has made very disgusting things with a minor. I won't be mentioning his name due to privacy reasons, and for proof, at that time, Uni was 18 years old and the minor was 14. It has been said here that the minor was a victim of sexual assault, also known as rape. And for more proof, here's some other disgusting things Uni did with minors. This might have been the most disgusting things Uni ever did. The fifth part is that Uni was a complete hypocrite and had favoritism, along with being a harasser. Like I already mentioned, Uni has a long history of calling people immature whenever they called him out for his wrongdoings and breaking his own rules that he himself made. He also had the audacity of calling the creator of the document a quote-unquote future pedophile, when Uni himself was also a predator. Uni also just randomly said he was stirring people into the quote-unquote right direction, when in reality, it was the complete opposite. And the proof. Uni once allowed a staff member of TSOSCH to harass a member without any consequences. Uni says he hates being backtalked, when hypocritically backtalking other in his staff chat. The sixth part is that Uni is racist, a prejudice and a clan larper. He would often claim he changed from his SHM days, but he continues saying those remarks to this day and also quote-unquote justified it using the N-word. He would also make fun of Israelis and Jewish people. Now for the last part, here's my testimony that I promised I would tell you guys at the start of the video. So it all began back in 2023 when I uploaded this video right here, using 10 reasons to explain why Object Cosmos and its community was bad, and in that, now re-uploaded, video, I mentioned something about Enceladus Object Cosmos saying on Discord that she was horny. And that triggered Uni into arguing with me about it. The argument ended in peace, right? Absolutely wrong. Uni literally grabbed my token using that token grabber bot. He would make fun of me and would also threaten to delete my Discord account. Fortunately, I managed to enable two-factor authentication in time and eventually, Uni peaced at that time, but not before forcing me into re-uploading my video without that part. So yeah, in conclusion, if you want me to resume, Uni is a clan larper, a narcissistic, a manipulator, a brainwasher, a sex offender, a self-centered and egotistical person, a pedophile and also a backstabber. Fortunately, Uni abandoned his account, but, Uni, Carol, or whatever the hell your name is. If you're watching until this part, just know that you should have quit a long time ago. If it wasn't for you, tens to hundreds of people wouldn't have been manipulated, brainwashed or groomed. And I will never forgive you for what you did to me and the other people, and I genuinely hope you suffer, or are already suffering the consequences of your actions. Okay? Well, thanks for watching this long exposal. Like and subscribe.
And bye-bye.